Kelsey got the hairy fro.
Glamps in the majors. Your life turned to flipping pages. All the real talent behind them cages. And real love.
McVay's a good coach, man. I'm surprised he let that happen to his boy like that. Because I imagine being a future prospect of theirs, you know? What they'll do to you. Because that's going to fuck up his career.
Hell yeah.
You know it messed up his confidence, so of course it's going to fuck up his career.
He won't throw well ever again.
He never threw well before. I don't know how he got to the Super Bowl. Oh, Gurley.
They rode his ass.
And Aaron Donald.
They rode his ass.
Yeah. So we'll go in on it. And we're back. Overtime Live Sports Bet Radio. Thank you guys for tuning in, coming at you live from the Gulf Coast. I don't know what today is. It might be February 7th, might be the 8th, might be the 9th. But we're coming off of the Super Bowl, and we're back at it. Special guest with us, King Glenn's here.
What's going on?
Sports bet extraordinaire. And what'd you think about that Super Bowl, man? You satisfied?
Well, for starters, most prolific offense you've probably ever seen in a while since maybe, Greatest Show on Turf Rams or something like that.
Greatest Show on Turf, yeah.
No touchdown.
No touchdowns. Big prop bet. Somebody made some money off of that. A lot of people loaded up on Kansas City, but it's hard to bet against Tampa Bay. So what I saw was a unstoppable defense. I think it's clear that defenses do win championships. And what it comes down to is you want to improve your team throughout the season. So when the playoffs come around, you're not the same team you were when the season started.
Right.
And that's what we saw from Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah. Better each week.
They clearly improved to a level where they could compete at the highest level. And they came in and got the job done.
Another step, too. Like, remember when they were saying, like, that's the second wild card team since Pittsburgh 2010?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
That won a Super Bowl.
I mean, look what Tampa Bay had to go through. They had to beat the Saints, Hall of Fame quarterback, Hall of Fame running back, Hall of Fame wide receiver. They had to beat the Green Bay Packers, Hall of Fame quarterback, Hall of Fame wide receiver, possibly Hall of Fame running back. And then go on to the Kansas City Chiefs, where we have already locked in 3 Hall of Famers on their offense. This defense was something special. So they showed up, man. They showed up with the home field advantage, big-time home field advantage. They showed up with advantages at most positions. I think they had the advantage of coaching. I think they had the advantage of wide receiver for sure. Defense was outstanding. This is the toughest pass rush attack I've ever seen. I mean, they were on his ass. You know what I mean? Pat Mahomes had to make moves.
Definitely took complete advantage of the fact that Kansas City's offensive line was hurt.
That's all it was. And any real sports bettor would have noticed that. The injury to your offensive or your defensive line can be so detrimental to the point that it can cost you up to 10 points, man, in reality. Of course, the sports book's not going to show that. But in reality, Kansas City should have been underdogs in that game with their offensive line injured like that. I mean, could you imagine the amount? You saw what kind of pressure he was under. So anyway, a lot of props came through. Of course, the underdog won by an astronomical amount. And Pat Mahomes, he showed up. He played his ass off. He's flying all over the place, flipping over tables, throwing balls on his side, halfway in the air. But he only pulled down 270 yards and showed up with 2 interceptions. The defense showed up, and that's what happened. Kelsey and Hill combined for 17 receptions, over 200 yards, which we expected. But the Kansas City defense could only produce 1 sack. They really couldn't get to Tampa Bay like that, Not to mention Brady was damn near perfect.
I'm tired.
Tom Brady shows up with 21 out of 29 passes, 8 incomplete passes in the Super Bowl. 3 touchdowns. Got his 7th MVP.
They're on 7.
Is that his 7th? No, that's his. He had 4. Maybe that's his 5th.
What?
His 7th Super Bowl. I'm not sure how many MVPs he had, but he got the MVP of the Super Bowl again. Even though he may not have been the most important part of the team, Defense clearly carried them all playoffs. The running game was amazing. Leonard Fournette and Aaron Jones showed up for the Super Bowl and throughout the playoffs. Of course, Jones had to deal with some injuries, but who did we see come in with the first touchdown?
Gronkowski.
Big Gronk showed up, man. I knew that there was something special about them when I saw that commercial. That commercial with the cell phone outage. Did you get to see that?
Mm-hmm.
where it was just like obvious that
love commercials on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Super Bowl commercials. That's
Great.
better than the game sometimes.
Yes, indeed.
But that Tampa Bay defense, man, they showed up, man. 3 sacks and 2 interceptions on the best offense in the league. Now that's an amazing feat to have. You know their coaches aren't going anywhere. Shout out to Tampa Bay's coaching staff.
Dude, happy Black History Month, by the way.
Happy Black History Month to everybody.
Did you see that they're pretty much like predominantly most of their coaching staff is black?
Yep. Shout out to the general manager of Tampa Bay for dodging that Rooney rule, which is actually, I'm not big on the Rooney rule. It's kind of insulting to me personally. But those coaches aren't going anywhere. But some people are going places, man. A lot of coaches are getting moved around. A lot of people trying to build for their team in the future. And a lot of quarterbacks getting moved around. What do you think about the Matt Stafford trade?
I mean, hard. So, like, I was thinking about this. Like, you wanted me saying, I was like, okay. Matt Stafford, amazing quarterback. Comes out of Georgia, goes to the league, throws a Megatron for years.
Megatron helps.
Literally, like, if I feel like, okay, people like to sit here and say that Matt Stafford is like a great quarterback, which he is, because you don't put up those numbers without having great wide receivers because they have to catch it. But he's been in the league, and his production has been consistent.
Very consistent.
Consistent all the way through for, like, the end of the time. Just can't get the wins. Can't get past the hump. Doesn't have enough.
A lot of injuries.
Yeah, and I get that.
Well, Matt Stafford,
is he really still, like, is it the back end of it? You know what I mean? Like, is this really, like...
The glamour of Matt Stafford is his ability to come from behind in fourth quarter.
Oh, for sure.
That's what he's made his career out of. That's why he's still on Detroit. And that's why he was able to be traded for picks plus a player who actually just went to the Super Bowl in the last 3 years.
Right.
So we're looking at a lot of salt being thrown. I don't know how Jared Goff should feel, but I know how I would feel. I mean, it's bad enough you're getting swapped for a quarterback older than you, straight up. But then your team decides to throw in some picks, some first-round picks. Are you kidding me?
Where's the loyalty?
That's just straight up insulting. And the whole time, the reason they lost Todd Gurley, because they wanted to pay Jared Goff. And they've been building this team around pretty much Aaron Donald because everybody else is just disposable. So, shout out to Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year for the 3rd time. Astronomical feat, very impressive. Monster pass rusher. You don't want to see him coming at you. Shout out to Aaron Rodgers, MVP for the 3rd time of the year. He led the league in passing touchdowns and in less interceptions. He threw 5 interceptions through the entire season. So he definitely well-deserved. Congratulations on him getting married also. He got rid of Danica, found somebody he loved. And that was the NFL season, man. I was happy with the way it went. I'm happy that a lot of those players got to get Super Bowl rings that I thought would never get Super Bowl rings.
For sure.
The season had it all, man. You had a woman referee for the first time.
Sarah Thomas.
Plenty of records broken. Trash talking on the field. Players playing injured. How good was that to see Tom Brady and the Honey Badger go at it?
Beautiful.
Undoubtedly part of football, Tom Brady, of course, he's going to go and apologize afterwards.
Yeah, you know how it is out there. Like, you get heated in the battle and you've been in the moment.
Yeah, he's worried about endorsements. He's thinking, somebody might see me as an angry person and not want to pay me all this money I'm about to get for being the best quarterback ever. Could you imagine what kind of endorsements he's about to get?
Wasn't he mic'd up for the game, too?
I'm not sure. I didn't hear him say anything.
I think someone was saying that he was mic'd up, and like now they're like people are paying big money to
hear what he was saying. Oh yeah, it's a documentary in itself. And what's a Super Bowl game without a player running on the field? I mean that's just the last. If somebody was to tell me it was staged, those are the factors that I'm thinking would make it staged. Not the stats or the referees. The overall effect of the event. That was a show. The halftime show.
The Weeknd.
What the hell is the Weeknd doing out there, man? Making me uncomfortable. I'm sitting here looking at this dude like, what the hell is this? Michael Jackson done came up from the grave looking like a damn... Hey, man, he was jamming. They killed it. But, congratulations, man, to Leonard Fournette, Antonio Brown, Probably, I guarantee you this time last year, Antonio Brown wasn't thinking about a Super Bowl ring. Sue should have been out of the year years ago. Sue was a damn convict on the NFL team, man. You know, he don't deserve no ring, but he's a hell of a player, and he stuck around. He fell into the right system, and he got rewarded for that.
Right place, right time.
That's it.
Right place, right time.
I think it's clear to see that defenses do win championships. So football's over, and we're going to take a break and get a word from our sponsors. And when we come back, we're going to jump into some NBA early picks, college basketball, and talk about a little bit of UFC. So I thank you guys for tuning in. Overtime Live.
Rolling up the grass, living better than the niggas that I used to look up to. I can show you why they come up. Yeah, I came up from the gutter to a condo out in Hollywood where the weather's good and the party's always popping up on somebody and dropping off some treat. I mean, I got enough to go around, everything for the free, so you ain't gotta smoke on me and my homies down to go to any one town and get this paper. I swear ain't nobody do me no favors. Twisting up the medicine, shitting on my competition. Easy parts forgetting, but the hardest part's to try forgiving niggas for mistaking me or thinking I was the one to wait, or thought cause I was young that I'd be dumb. But nigga, what you made's a photographic memory. Now look at my wife, she got a pornographic figure, and my autograph is bigger to your nieces and your nephews than yours ever was, not to mention your niggas. You caught them rapping Taylor Gang with us.
Everybody good? You want that back?
You wanted it back, yeah, you wanted it back.
That's mine.
I see TMZ cameras, paparazzi taking pictures. I spark up a J and ask them if you wanna take one with us. Made man, ain't nobody make a nigga. About to book a flight to Vegas, trying to take one with us. You niggas too small, dog. Me, I'm thinking bigger. Critics comment on how I'm smoking weed and drinking liquor, or how I was nominated but not the winner. But you should. Yeah, nigga, I'm up in the air, nigga, and the shit that I got on, so I need to wear, nigga. Owner of the team, I ain't even a player, nigga. 4 hours on, niggas ain't care, now it's getting dark for you niggas, shit ain't even fair, nigga. Blowing hella dank, I mean so much I think it's blowing out my hair. The weed is in the jar, the grinder's over there.
6'2", a fucking 9'7", a 6'10". Sure. Not on the block. Everybody's dog. Watch out for that. You know this is Gage? Lincoln Park. I did.
It's always like a park when you ask that question, huh?
No, it wasn't. It was Gage. That was Scotland this year. You know what CD this is off of, bro? Is it like time?
And we're back, Overtime Live Sports Bet Radio, coming at you live from the Gulf Coast. Thanks to our sponsors at TeamSpacePoker.com and GilbertYoungArt.com. Book your poker party today. Don't hesitate. No better way to brighten up a family reunion, bachelor party, birthday party. How was Brindley Casino to you? So with NFL wrapping up, we're going to go ahead and go on to basketball. Some people like basketball. Some people can't watch basketball because of their own personal problems. But whatever.
Cool.
Basketball. One of the most athletic sports there is. Highlight reels all day. So how have you been making out on college basketball this year? It's been tough.
Oh, have not been hitting very
Been tough.
well this year at all.
Our boys in blue are down.
Missing it. Yes.
And that's affecting everybody. Duke, North Carolina. North Carolina's still going to be in the tournament.
Yeah,
Shout out to the
bad.
Tar Heels. But Kansas, Kentucky, really been struggling.
Man,
UCLA,
yeah, your normal Power 5 are not there.
they're not there.
Mhm.
So
Kids are going anywhere. That's
it's what it is. They're going where their parents told them to go. They know they're not going to be athletes for the rest of their lives.
Mhm.
When you look at a team like Gonzaga, which is, predominantly nerdier white dudes, who ball out on everybody every night, you know, they're probably not going to go too far in the pros. But
Adam Morrison.
for now, exactly. Jimmer Fredette, you know. I watched the BYU Gonzaga game last night. Awesome game. Very competitive down to the wire. BYU didn't end up covering by a half a point, which was a half point too much for me. But what are your Power Fives looking like in college basketball right now?
Right now, your top 5 is going to be Baylor is at 1.
Baylor's awesome.
Gonzaga is at 2. You got Houston at
Houston's been performing.
Yeah, and it's like they're in a lower league. You know, it's not a Big 12, a SEC, your ACC, your traditional.
Yeah.
But they're a good basketball club, and they're still sitting up there at 3 with a decent. They're 16-2. Iowa with Big Garza down there is still hanging around, even
Big
with
Garza.
them taking their L's. Like they're
A lot of
losing-
L's.
They're losing games, but they're still holding them up there. I'm not sure why. You know, because it's conference play and whatnot. Illinois.
It's not going to work in the tournament. Illinois looks great.
Illinois is at 5.
So that's a tough group, man. It's a lot to pull from because I noticed you left out Michigan.
They're sitting at 8.
Michigan is awesome.
They're still top 10.
A lot of teams, man. A lot of teams that
I'll
have
put
been.
Texas Tech.
I love Alabama.
Love Bama.
Alabama has been excellent for me this year, and you know it's going to be a good conference tournament. It's going to be a good national tournament. We're going to see who can take it down. You know.
Oh, for sure.
There's no telling. Big 12's wide open. I mean, you got Oklahoma. A lot of teams are good. A lot of teams, good teams are going to be in that tournament that aren't in the top 10 right now. So.
Oh yeah, you already know if I was going to be a 12.
Yeah. So you want to go look at your future prop odds. So right now, Sportsbook, our local William Hill's got Zaga at plus 250, Baylor at plus 450, Villanova at plus 800, and Michigan at plus 1200. Those are going to be your top 4. Also in the top 10, as far as betting odds goes, Texas is getting 1200, Wisconsin's getting 1300. Creighton and Houston are both getting 1400. Houston at 1400 is a great bet for a tournament run. You know, I'm thinking I'm going to take Michigan at the 1200. Probably put 100 on that and try to turn it into something. Give you some tournament action. But you know,
my wild card is Oklahoma State.
Oh, Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State's my wild card.
Oh.
I'm telling people this because I've seen it so many times. When it comes down to it, play Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Every year you have this player that no one's paying attention about, nobody's watching. Your Ja Morant, your Carmelo Anthony's, these players that are gonna go on for a while and should be great players on in the league. Cade Cunningham at Oklahoma State.
Cade Cunningham.
But they already got him projected to go 1, and I'm pretty sure I think he may end up falling somewhere around maybe like 3 at the lowest.
It just depends on the picks. You know?
But this guy is a player, guys. Like he messed with Oklahoma State people. I'm telling you that they are a play.
Look into it, man. See what the odds are. I'm sure they're going to be better than they should be. You know. Or if you don't have any ideas, just wait and see what Mattress Mac does. You know, you can always run with him. Shout out to Mattress Mac, who got his big win on the Super Bowl, taking the Tampa Bay Bucks money line.
I ain't really grabbed one.
For those of you who don't know about Mattress Mac, he's a multimillionaire businessman from Texas. He has a furniture company, and he does a lot of promotions to support the community. Very good man, very, very positive motivation. And he's not a very good bettor, though. You know, I noticed how he had a lot on the Cubs last year or the year before. Lost a lot of money on that. Typically, whatever he bets, you can go against it, but he got that Super Bowl. So, shout out to Mattress Mac. So, we'll move on to the NBA. What are you seeing in the NBA this year?
Dallas is bad.
Dallas is horrible.
Dallas is real bad.
A lot of teams are real bad, but Dallas.
Luka. Lakers cannot put away games in the fourth quarter.
Lakers are struggling, you know, but they still have the best record. They're still winning games enough. They still have LeBron James, so, you know, they're not going to lose to scrub teams.
Nah.
Not like Milwaukee or the Nets will.
Next comment. God damn it. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Giannis. Please, Giannis.
Find a jumper.
Find something. Find some clutchness. Find some type of motivation, some inspiration. I mean, if you don't want to win, you just going to keep winning MVPs, and you don't want to run wearing, that's cool. Let Middleton go. because you're fucking up Middleton's career. Middleton is a great player.
He's a baller.
and send Middleton to Portland. You know?
Goodness gracious.
A lot of trades, man. Send people places, man. That's what we're seeing in the NFL. I mean, the NBA this year. They're really trying to build that super team. That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Giannis and Chris Middleton are a hair away from that super team. They've gotten rid of They had Brogdon. They had your boy from the Suns. I mean,
yeah. Bledsoe.
Bledsoe. Yeah. I mean, they've had chances, but they let people go. So it's hard to build a super team. But when we come back from our break, we're going to talk about a super team that has gotten built. So thank you guys for tuning in, and stay with us. When we come back, we're going to talk about James Harden trade.
No catching up. Them other girls be mad as fuck. You slave for it, they paid for it, they made for it, they adding up. You hit the stage with your ass out. Work hard till they pass out. You the one that they ask about. They stand and bringing them racks out. While you work hard till you pass out. Work hard till you pass out. Work hard till you pass out. Show them hey hoes with that cash bow. Go girl, it's movie time. Go and do your thing. I wish I had a camera and a film crew. I do. Cause I do.
And we're back. Overtime Live Sports Bet Radio. Coming at you live from the Gulf Coast. About to wrap up this episode. But at first we want to get into a discussion about building a super team. So how do you feel about building a super team in the NBA?
I think that you for sure can say, like everyone says, like, oh, this is a super team, this is a super team. The way that the league is kind of set up now, like, you have where these people can be considered a superstar and, like, you're not a superstar. But I think every championship has been won with at least more than one big player.
Has to be.
These other players may not be as big as this other person is, but it's like people say, like, Jordan Pippen or, but it's like, even like when Dirk Nowitzki won this championship, Jason Kidd was still there.
Yeah.
Like, there's always more than one. So it's like, there's always a super team, but it's like now they're making it where, you got, it's a few of them because, like, more of them were at the All-Star game or the plateau of, Nike contracts, endorsements, or whatever it may be. But I think that, you know what I'm saying, if you want to build it with video games and, you know what I'm saying, like all this stuff.
Well, how do you feel about the quest for a super team for a player who's decided that they're looking to win a ring so bad that they will go wherever and do whatever, and they're looking to play with the best team that's already planning on winning a ring? Similar to someone joining the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, knowing that Tom Brady, Gronkowski,
Right.
LaShawn McCoy. Shout out to LaShawn McCoy, got him a Super Bowl ring. For those of you who didn't know, he was on the Tampa Bay roster this year. And that's what it's about, trying to move the teams to win rings.
He was with the Chiefs last year, too.
Yeah, he was with the Chiefs last year. This year, he ends up, what is he, fourth string in Tampa Bay? I mean, I don't think he had a play.
Yeah, he's got two.
So, congratulations. What was his name? His nickname? Shady. Congratulations, Shady McCoy. I thought your career was over. It is not. And
now you got rings.
Enjoy sitting there looking at your Super Bowl rings. So, Harden. James Harden.
Yes,
superstar.
He is actually by himself tonight, too.
Had his own team in Houston. We've seen him by himself before. I mean, they never wanted to give his counterparts credit in Houston. Eric Gordon and
CP3
and PJ Tucker. He had weapons before.
And they're actually doing way better now. They actually traded him. They're the number one defensive team in the league. People did not know that. They got tore up last night. But
Houston's been playing very well since getting rid of him. It's a chip on their shoulder, but they've also acquired some pieces. You know, when you pick up a Cousins, pick up a John Wall. Oladipo is a superstar. Most overrated guard in the league. Underrated, I'm sorry. Most underrated. Should easily, be talked about every night. And it's affected his play. He hasn't been performing to his 30-point per game potential because nobody gives a shit. He's just there now. He's just
that's a lot doing it on both ends of the floor too.
He's just getting paid.
He does it on both ends. Of the
but
floor.
some great teams have been making a lot of money for me in the NBA. Phoenix Suns, since acquiring CP3. The Spurs at home are a dangerous team.
We got another one last night.
Yep. Lakers, Nets, Bucks have been killing me a lot, man. Bucks have been killing me a lot, but if you don't make trades, you keep the same team, it dwindles. If you don't use it, you lose it. So the Bucks are one step away from just being Giannis and being a mid-level team. I don't even think they're really even competitors for the East right now. There's too many teams that could beat them on any given night. So,
what
do you think about Deshaun Watson?
Stanley's gonna sit out. I mean,
he's gonna sit
feel
out.
Like you want to sit out. I mean, you're almost gonna be putting yourself in a Le'Veon Bell situation.
Yeah.
Poor
career moves is what it is. Le'Veon Bell's gonna end up broke. He made a lot of money real fast, but the fact that he's just sitting around, not chasing endorsements, not looking to play, probably spending all his money, he's gonna end up broke. He doesn't have a Super Bowl ring. He didn't get his ring this year like he was hoping to pull Sean McCoy. He couldn't get it done, sitting on the bench trying to get a ring. But I'm curious to what Watson's motives are. Is he looking to be traded to a super team as well?
Well, they said that I read an article. He does have options that he does want to go to. It was like the Dolphins and like the Bears and like he had like a few. I would love to see him with someone like Chicago or a Carolina, maybe
someone just needing a quarterback. But
somebody
I mean,
when you them a QB, but
I thought the Texans were a pretty well-built team. I mean, obviously they made a horrible decision getting rid of, DeAndre Hopkins, but
I think that he's one running back away. I think that he is one more big-time wide receiver.
And that trade that where they gave away DeAndre Hopkins to get David Johnson, who's washed up and overrated at the point.
But they get some picks out of that, which should help them here in
the future.
Well,
So
it's like he just has to hang around, but I think he's maybe in the situation right now where you don't want to wait.
Well, you're sitting with a no trade clause, and you're likely to just get knocked out of the league, man. No, teams move on. There's better quarterbacks coming, and we all know that nobody wants their superstar quarterback to look like Deshaun Watson. They want him to look like Peyton Manning, and that's just the way the NFL is. So, hence Jared Goff's career. But
they're really fast.
You sit around, you don't perform, you get knocked out. But who got knocked out recently more than Conor McGregor? More than the great Conor McGregor decided to return home to the UFC from his retirement, only to get embarrassed, knocked out, and possibly career ended by Dustin Poirier. Shout out to King Lynn. He called it. He got it. He got the underdog. What was it at plus 240, 250?
Plus 250.
He got it, man. He got the money on it. He got paid off of it. It was a pretty obvious pick, but it's hard to pull the trigger, It's hard to pull the trigger.
It's hard to bet against your big names, man. That's just like, you're Brady or whatever, but it's hard to bet against.
I mean, the odds tough. I expected it to go the distance and then to give it to McGregor just because it's McGregor.
Like a split decision, just based off
Go ahead and set up a trilogy fight, give him the third one. At this point, I don't want to see a third one. I don't want to see trilogy fights at all, really, unless there's just something special. I could go for another Tyson Fury, but, I can't pay for it. You're going to have to put that on ESPN for free, So, it is what it is. UFC's struggling right now trying to find some talent. But they broke through. They're going to be breaking through in the next 6 weeks. They're going to be having 6 title fights. So, as long as COVID stays out of the way, we should be looking at, we're going to see Miocic defend his title against Ngannou. Nunez, Adesanya, and Usman are all going to be defending their championships. And Petrion is going to be defending his. You even have Volkanovski's going to be defending his title. So
That's Amanda, isn't it? Amanda Nunes?
Yeah, Amanda Nunes is going to be fighting in the next 6 weeks. So you got some good fights coming up. Hopefully they can put together some decent cards. Not a lot of talent anymore, man. I barely recognize some of these names. I sure can't say them. But Dana White's got plans, and he's got money. So we're going to wrap up the show. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Join the Overtime Live Sports Bet Radio group. Post your tickets, post your bets, and ask questions. Ask for trends and tips, picks. Ask for injury updates. Share your injury update because the injury update will make or break your ticket. So thank you all for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful day, and may all your bets be live. There it is. I can keep drinking.
Goddamn off then.
Way to go, buddy. This is what we do. This is what we do. You're two tighties. Two tighties. I was saving them for the Superbowl. You did it all! You called out, baby. You called out. Way to go. You let us hear it, dog. Way to go. Yes. So proud of you.
Right, Tom? There's more to come as far as football.
Yeah, we're coming back.
We're coming back.
You know that.
Coming back. Tom Brady's coming back.
She talking about Showtime. Tom is over there in his own little world. That's where Tom is. Right there. Y'all see him? He been did this, bro. He don't care. This man is a legend, dog. He been doing this.